Now we're live.
We are.
Hello.
Let me find it. There we are. Let me share it in the group.
Here it is. I can see it now.
And there we are. Ready?
Yes. Absolutely.
Hello, everybody. This is Monica Ramirez, Warrior of Love, and we're in Soul Talk. And you're writing us from write us from where you're writing us right now, where you at in this part of the world. And we're having the pleasure to have two amazing people that are accompanying us today. And there's Debra and Zanda Rock Evans from close to New Zealand right now. I'm going to explain why close to New Zealand. Debra and Zanda Rock Evans sold their home, bought a yacht, and sailed the world, hoping to inspire you rock the boat in your life. Sail away and the sea of seamless into the ocean opportunity to find the happiness and harmony. They believe everyone needs to build multiple incomes to stream their and thrive in their enchanted waters ahead in the building community. The people can connect and learn from their leaders in the world, online in the world. My God, you guys are really rocking the boat.
We are, and that's uncharted waters. It sounded like enchanted waters, which sounds even better.
Yeah. And not quite sailing the world yet because of the Rona.
Yeah.
So it's New Zealand waters at the moment.
Definitely. Quite happy to be here.
Yes.
Thanks for having us on, Monica. Looking forward to our conversation today.
Thank you for being here, guys. And where this idea was to sell your home and buy a boat.
Do you want to say that? Tell everyone.
Well, look, there was a number of things that sort of led to that point. One was, well, for me, there was this sense of frustration and unfulfillment. You know, if we talk about success and what success looks like, where the commercial industry does a very good job of telling us what success is, right? You know, you need a big house, you need multiple cars, you need the multiple children, you need the career, and you need to work very, very hard and maintain that and upgrade that. So this constant cycle of upgrade was all very well and good, and we were playing the game. But then in the wee small hours of the morning, you catch yourself thinking, well, hang on, this can't be it. There's got to be more than this. Why? I've got everything they tell me I should have. Why am I still unhappy? Why am I frustrated? Why does it feel like I'm not really getting anywhere? And then you go, well, I don't want this to continue for another 30 years so I can one day retire and one day find happiness. So what can we do about that? And at the same time, we had this 10-year goal of sailing around the world. And so we woke up midway through 2019 one day, effectively 5 years into this 10-year goal, realising we weren't a single step closer to doing anything about it. For a start, we couldn't really sail, which is probably the first thing.
We didn't have a boat.
We didn't have a boat.
And we still had a mortgage.
Yeah. And so we started questioning ourselves, you know, do we really still want this? The answer was yes, we do. So what are we going to do about it? And there's a whole story that goes with, you know, what we started to do, how we started to change things, and what we put in motion, what actions we took to start realising that dream. And a consequence of realising that dream ended up being selling the house, living on a boat, rocking things up a bit, changing things up and challenging a definition of success. So our lives are much simpler now. some things are really tough, you know. So there's friends and family that we've left behind in Wellington. This life isn't all unicorns and rainbows, but the simplicity of it is really lightning.
And the freedom that it's brought us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the ability now to start sharing that with people to hopefully inspire them to find their happiness and their harmony. Because living on a boat won't be for everyone, but you know, we encourage everyone to do what they can do for their definition of success.
Yeah.
Oh,
To move more towards.
Literally, you're living your life dream. Not everybody has the guts actually to do a big move like you guys did. It is everybody has their dream life and so forth, but always stay as a dream life. They never actually do it like you guys did. They're too afraid.
Well, you know, there was sacrifice to get there. I mean, I suppose the sailing around the world thing was not necessarily something that we saw ourselves doing for the rest of our lives, but it was definitely something that we wanted to do for the next sort of decade. But what we had to sacrifice to get there sooner was give up everything that we have actually ever worked for and accumulated in our lives and in our careers. So that in itself was quite courageous, I suppose. All our life is in this box right now. It's right here. And that, you know, sometimes that feels a bit scary to me, and other times it feels quite liberating. So we've got everything that we need right here, and we can go wherever we want to go. We don't have any ties to a 9-to-5 job. Even to schools or things like that, you know. Morgan, our nearly 7-year-old, is currently at a local rural school here in the Bay of Islands up north in New Zealand. But we can homeschool him and we can move around at the drop of a hat. So that's quite liberating. But we've created that, you know.
Yes. I have a question. How do you guys become with the business of of course you were already entrepreneurs when you got out of that system, but to actually teach other people to help them out in your business rocking the boat?
Yeah, good question. Well, we haven't long been entrepreneurs, or certainly Zanda hasn't. I mean, he's been employed up until about a year ago, so this is quite new for him. And you know, we haven't got like the formula 100% right yet. We're like most entrepreneurs, we're trying and failing and trying and failing and standing up and trying and failing and standing up, and you know, so we're getting there and we're trying to build multiple businesses. But what we've learned along the way is phenomenal, and we have skills and gifts to share with people based on those learnings. So I've been out of sort of paid employment now for 5 years. 5 years, and I've been running my own business. I've done branding and web design, specialising in helping entrepreneurs, online and entrepreneurs and home-based businesses get themselves out there. So I've got a lot of skills around that. We've recently developed a lot of skills in attraction marketing, so learning to use the use of Facebook organically, so you're not paying for ads, because Facebook is definitely forcing people down that road, and I don't think that's very fair. There's definitely ways that you can train the algorithms to work to your favour and utilise the platform for free a whole lot better. And also we want to help people who are looking at getting started online. So people a bit like Zanda, who was up until recently fully employed, you know, a professional, IT professional, playing the game and not really knowing a lot about how to start a side hustle, start a side business that is online based, selling something, either your services or finding products to align with and sell them. But there's so many ways that one can make money online these days, and we want to help people understand all the options and opportunities that are available to them, know how to make the right decisions, understand the basic differences, know how to do due diligence and find the right brands to align with, and then how to get themselves out there marketing with authenticity and doing it organically and free, like we said, so not having to pay through the nose, and doing it in a way that feels good and doesn't feel spammy and horrible.
I think one of the differences with us is that we're not standing up the front and saying that we're gurus and leaders and that we know everything. We're standing out the front saying, hey, this is what we're learning along this journey. Yeah, these are some decisions that we've made to put us into this position about chasing our dreams and to encourage other people to have, to make some decisions for themselves. But the biggest thing that we're pulling together is a community of people who are going to go along the same path with us. And because what we've found is this world of home-based businesses, online entrepreneurs, they're often called solopreneurs, and that's exactly it. They're doing it alone. They may have, some people may have a following, but the thing about a following is that you're out the front, you're alone out the front, and that's a scary place to be. So, Debbie touched on my background. It was in corporate leadership, but I always had teams of people, and what I realised was all I really did was look after people. And so I'm encouraged to be bringing that focus back into this type of work, because I think often online entrepreneurs get caught up in their product or their service and they find themselves alone. Without the support, they have to be everything. They have to be the financial controller. They have to be operations manager. They have to be the CEO. They have to be whatever. And the support around them is lacking. So we're a little bit different in that we're going to be building that community for the community's sake, alongside them, not out the front as leaders, but more alongside them and growing together. Yeah.
Do you guys have a system, or there are many systems right now? Oh my God, is every day I receive a new friend request of another coach for business or entrepreneurs or things like that. So do you having a system right now, or what is the difference between you from the other systems or the other coaches? They're teaching entrepreneurs to do the same thing.
Well, yes and no. So we follow an attraction marketing method or system, if you like. So that's very much around utilising what's available to us to see. So, for example, our Facebook profiles, we can have up to 5,000 friends on a Facebook profile, and if those friends are they're qualified in that that they're interested in what you're doing. So what we're doing is trying to build businesses online and help people do the same. So if we know that people are interested in that and they become friends, they become our audience effectively. And then it's a matter of training the algorithm so that they see our posts, because most of us can relate to the fact that when you post, half your friends don't see it and you wonder why, Well, there's no reasons for that. And if we fall out of contact with people, they're just not going to see our stuff anymore. It's kind of really defeats the purpose of Facebook, to be honest. So it is the way it is. And you need to understand the way the machine works and then work it to your advantage. So, yeah, we're all about not having to pay to get eyes on what we're doing. And then you can kind of create your own marketplace effectively. And as long as you're inserting that marketplace with information that's valuable to them, that's going to help them in achieving their dreams to build their business online, then you're doing that in a non-spammy, pitchy way as well. We really just want to be offering as much value to people as we can, and quite holistically too, not just about marketing, but around the mindset that it takes, around what it takes to get started, what it takes to maintain, and what it takes to be successful in the various ways that you can make money online. So.
And ultimately, you don't have to be anybody else. The best imitation I can be is of me. And if I can be me and let my personality and the way I think about things, the way I approach them, if I can bring that to the surface, then I'm going to find it easier to sort of go about my life. When you're working for someone else, you're working to their agenda, and you need to sort of conform to the way they want you to be. As entrepreneurs, we get the opportunity to set those rules ourselves, and so we encourage people to think about how they want to market themselves, and to actually, well, that's the key there, market themselves. Don't market anything else. So let your personality come through. And look, there's a number of leaders in this industry that have got a number of systems and processes that draw on that. And certainly we've been lucky enough to be introduced to a range of these things, and you're able to pick up golden nuggets from various different sources and mix them together in a way that you can relate to. And so we encourage our community to do the same thing. So pick what you want out of the things that you hear, things that resonate with you. And if they resonate with you, you'll be able to put them into practice. There'll be other processes that you go, actually, that doesn't sit with me. So you just leave them aside. Don't worry about it. Don't flog a dead horse, so to speak.
Something that I noticed a lot, and I just took a class the last weekend about the new algorithms with Facebook and Instagram and so forth, and hashtags. And oh my God, it's just sometimes it's way too much because they change it so fast that sometimes you can use the Zoom and teach it from your group, and now you have to do something else to get different hoops from Facebook or Instagram and the hashtags. Oh my God, I don't know. It was hard enough to learn about algorithms. Now hashtags.
There are tricks and tips and algorithms and things. I think underneath all of that are human beings, right? And if you're not portraying an attractive offer to people, and that's you as a person, right? If you as a person don't come through in what you're putting out there, then other humans aren't going to be attracted to you. So I think, in as much as there's systems and platforms that we have to learn how to operate within, on top of all of that is human beings. And we shouldn't forget that, because that's who we work with and who we, humans. I don't work with an algorithm, I work with humans.
Wow, and another thing, something that I have learned taking classes, not only with you guys, because I am taking classes also with you and with other teachers that I hear and so forth, is the avatars or soul clients. They have different names, but it's the same thing. Can you explain a little bit about what is soul clients or avatars?
People.
Exactly.
But what it means, basically that, because a lot of people, yes.
I think you need to, so customer avatar, ideal client is another sort of way of thinking about it. It's basically drilling down into quite a level of detail of understanding the person you're attracting and how you can help them because of the types of pains and problems that they're experiencing. And if you can hone in on those and talk to their heart, talk to their soul, then you've got them. It's like and it's not in a horrible way, but that is what attracts. That no hashtag is going to achieve what a perfectly stated sentence that accurately describes their specific problem and pain point right now. In this moment of time, no hashtag's going to going to get that. It really comes down to that deeper understanding of who it is you want to serve, who it is you're trying to help. A lot of the time, that just takes thinking back to where you were, maybe just 6 months ago, or 2 years ago, or 7 years ago, or whatever that moment was when you learned something and overcame something in your own life that really made a big difference and impact in your life, and you know that there are people out there that are in that same place now, and if you can help them, maybe that's why you're here. Like when you can narrow down well enough and speak to that person's heart, that's understanding your customer avatar. It's a very important exercise that every business needs to undergo and understand for their marketing to work at all.
And at the same time, to understand that we're not competitors, the ones that were becoming entrepreneurs, because in a way we're attracting to the people that they're passing what we just passed, and we're all different. We have passed different experience. So in reality, we're not competitors. We just gonna track whatever it is, the same people that are that we can help, and we can help everybody because we haven't lived everything. But I'm glad that there are many coaches that we can serve more people.
Exactly. When we can get past the fact that we need to get another sale or we need to get a sale and stop focusing on what our needs are and start looking to help another soul, help another life, lift humanity, move us all forward. I mean, it sounds a little bit woo-woo, but actually this is exactly what everyone needs to be doing right now. We need to be coming together around the world and looking after each other, not out for ourselves.
Yeah, I just sort of thought of, let's say I want to help 10 people. Imagine if there were 10 people who wanted to help me, right? And offered me some sort of help. And if we all did that, unfortunately, we've lost that. We've lost that sense of community because we don't live in villages anymore. We live behind walls. We drive air-conditioned cars and air-conditioned offices, and we don't say hi to our neighbours, unfortunately, because we're working too long. Leave home in the dark, get home in the dark. You might wave at your neighbour as you're driving into into an Lexus garage, back into your air-conditioned. But we've lost that sense of humanity and community, and it's really sad. So we want to try and reach out to people, even though doing it like this is nowhere near the same as being able to share a meal around a table. But at least we're making the most of the tools, appealing as human beings to another human being and getting a connection.
Yeah. And it's not all about serving either. It's also about receiving. We just discovered that and discussed that today, didn't we? And when you're being offered something by someone who you think necessarily isn't in a position to give, you can find it hard to receive. But actually, we all need to be open to receiving just as much as serving and giving.
If that seems a little bit cryptic, a friend of ours offered to buy us coffee, right? And I said no. And then Debbie looked, and he walked off, and Debbie said, no, he's offering. He wants to. He's offering to do it. And so, I had to kick myself, give myself an uppercut.
I have another question. Do your majority of your clients are coaches, coaches, or what is the majority of your clients right now that your entrepreneurs that you're serving more?
Good question. So I've spent the last 5 years in the online world working with a lot of bricks and mortar on the ground entrepreneurs and home-based businesses, small businesses, as well as those predominantly online. But then I also entered into the world of network marketing in the last few years, so I've got a lot of that community that I want to serve, because I see them doing a lot of things sometimes less desirable way, like marketing wise, it's it can come across really spammy. I think we've all experienced people who have hit us up on Messenger and stuff like that, and it's just doesn't feel right. So I really want to help make shifts in that industry. But also affiliate marketers, people who are looking to just align themselves with a product and market that. So basically online-based entrepreneurs who are either doing their own thing, have their own offer, or are aligning with some of the brand. We want to help.
And
they're the people we want.
And it doesn't matter if they're doing it full-time or just doing it part-time or looking to start something. We've got people who've got full-time jobs that are just looking for that side thing. But I've also got somebody who's not looking for a side thing, just wanting help with his career. So it's just in that sort of thing. So it's a true sort of mentorship coaching rather than any sort of business mentorship. It's more mindset, personal type stuff. So we can, yeah.
Something,
No.
something that I do want to mark to everybody that's listening right now or listen later on about something that I haven't seen with the rest of the coaches or service is your chatbot, because that is so helpful when you have, because as an entrepreneur we only as one as yes, we can hire VAs and so forth, but you always need extra help, and the chatbot is actually very helpful. Can you explain
really cool.
That's something that you guys do, and can you go and speak about it?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Well, we're going to be helping Monica with hers as well, so keep a lookout for that, everyone. But look, a chatbot. We all know that Messenger is where a lot of the great conversations take place. I, for one, have an inbox that's blown out, so there's many emails that I never even open, and I know I'm not alone in that. Not to say that email is dead, but Messenger is where it's at if you want real-time conversations and connection. And when you are working the algorithms and social media and not wanting to pay for ads, then you need to be reaching out and finding new friends and making those connections and having conversations in Messenger. And that is all quite obviously going to take up a lot of time. But chatbots are quite useful in that you can start a conversation with someone who's come across you and your profile, and it is stating very clearly around who you are, how you serve. And if you have something of value to offer and you state that, you can enter into a conversation with your chatbot, which is linked to your business page. And that can go through some qualifying questions to get to know that person a little before giving the value, giving the freebie. And that's great because that's all conversation that can be forth with your page, and you've got and once the bot is done, it's done. You can have that real human conversation and connection with that person and carry that relationship onwards. So it's quite powerful.
It's a great. You hit the nail on the head, Monica, when you said about saving time. And as an individual, you can't be awake 24/7 just to answer when people they want to reach out. So the little robots, they scale brilliantly, and from all over the world in all different time zones can reach out to your robot and interact using language that you would use because you've crafted the responses, and they can get a sense for what it would be like to work with you. Go through some questions and pre-qualify them, and then go through and book a time to talk to you if they want to talk to you. Everybody saves time. You haven't spent an hour on the phone or on a Zoom call to get to that point. This interaction's happened.
And besides that, let's say, so I can serve better my clients, I will have the list of what do they want, the goals and so forth. So like the time that we are actually having together, so like that I know if I can help them out. It's already there, or I can send in the application and they might have more questions, and like that the chatbot in a way will help me, and it will help to get at least that list of the goals, what do they need. So like that I know if I can help them or I can't help them.
This goes back to the avatar or the ideal the ideal person that you want to work with. The chatbots are an excellent way of helping sort that out. And you may get to the end, and they actually you go, I can't help you. I'm not best placed to serve you. But you could offer them something else, another path forward that might be better for them.
Yeah.
We don't have to help everybody, and we can't help everybody.
Yes.
And the bots are excellent at sifting and sorting.
But so much better than them falling across your page or your profile and moving on if they haven't seen enough there to draw them in. You know, it's a relationship not lost. Yeah.
The most important thing is not to pretend. Don't pretend that the bot is a real person.
Yeah.
So let people know. Hey,
about it.
Yeah, I've got this piece of automation. Just going to go through, if you don't mind, a few questions, and we'll get to a better place for both of us.
Ours is called Rocky.
Yeah.
So he starts off by saying, "Hi, I'm Rocky. I'm doing Zanda's, virtual assistant."
And people know what they're doing. Yeah. No surprises.
Yes, because I have heard so many people like, oh no, you don't want a chatbot because then you're losing the human contact. No, the human contact, they're gonna still have them if they wanna book a discovery call, whatever, or a call with me or with any of the entrepreneurs. But how would you tell the people, like, because this is the comments that I have received, like, oh, I'm going to have a chatbot, and tell me, oh, but you're going to lose the human contact.
No.
But what is the difference beside sending a jot form to fill the application or sending a chatbot?
It's
right?
if you tell those same people that you're going to build a house, right? And I'm going to use a hammer to help me build this house. They're not going to turn around and say, no. You'll lose the personal touch of pushing those nails in with your thumb. Automation. Maybe it's not, but automation and tools are there to serve us, right? So long as we're using them appropriately, it can augment the human interaction, right? The bot is saving time, and it's saving them time, and it's saving you time. So use it in the right way, and people aren't going to mind.
I think if you make the interaction quite fun and friendly and enjoyable, that makes a big difference. Yeah. I don't know that many people that have been put off the chatbot experience. In fact, I know more people that have been quite impressed because they see that this individual has systems and tools and in place, so that the impression that comes across is that they're quite professional and they're organised and structured, and that's appealing.
Yeah. And it's not replacing you. It's helping you early, and you'll come later.
I hear you guys are going to be in a summit very soon. Can you tell us about that summit? That it sounds very, very interesting.
We are. It's our first summit. You've got the name there, haven't you, Monica? I keep forgetting the name because it's so long.
Yes. I did not, because it was so long. I could not write it down. No.
But it does very well describe what it is we're doing. What is it? It's called Find the Right People for Your Network Marketing Business Without Leaving Your Home. So it's pretty appropriate for where we are in the world right now, not for New Zealand, but in general. So many people are working from home anyway. Many people are already have started their network marketing side hustle or side gig, and or now they're starting it permanently. And a big a big hassle with, not a hassle, and a problem, a number one problem that most people in that industry find is that in order to build a strong business, you need to bring on people onto your team. So it's about finding those right people. And they've got a whole host of speakers, including ourselves, sharing their gold around some of those ways of doing it, such as, building your own brand, mastering Facebook groups, the power of Facebook groups to find the right people. We will be sharing how you can get multiple new leads from just one post that you make organically. So, yeah, if people would like to find out more about that, you'll be able to pop a link in there, won't you, Monica?
I tried to put it here and I couldn't, but I will share it in the all of them.
It just started. It just started today. Today was day one, but it's going to be running for
12 days.
12 days.
There's 20 speakers over 12 days.
Yeah.
And you can register for free.
Yes.
Well, ours will be featured on the 20th. I think that's Friday or Saturday.
And when are you guys going to be talking in that?
Yeah,
summit?
on the 20th. So I think that's our Friday, but
yeah.
Well,
some of the rest of the world will be Thursday.
As you know, Monica, we're coming to you from the future.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I understood it when Debra and me we took a class, and she's in New Zealand and I'm still in Texas. Yes, yeah. You guys were talking always in the future. It was just getting information in the future.
Yeah.
But that sounds awesome. Do you guys are teaching classes, or you have a group, or how you're teaching people from a group?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, well, at the moment we have a free group called Rock the Leads. We'll pop that in the comments as well. And we're going to be focusing on growing that community over the coming months. And moving forward from that, we'll be having a membership community for people who really want to get into the guts of what is working in the online world, what's it all about, how do we make the right choices, how do we get started, how do we maintain, and how do we make success with our online business. And we'll be bringing in a lot of leaders and experts in those areas into that membership community. But for now, we're asking people to come and join us and Rock the Leads. That's where we're going to be sharing interviews as well, and lots of gold around the methods that we use for attraction marketing. Yeah.
Would you like to share a short method or something like that, so like that the people can see a little bit what do you teach?
A particular method. Well,
small.
Yeah, actually, we need to update our profiles. But we have I'll be popping on our profiles this afternoon. We have a chatbot, a link that you can, if you just seek us out, feel free to add us as a friend because we like friends. And we have a chatbot on our profile which can give you access to a Facebook cheat sheet, which will take you through all the steps that you need to do daily to train the algorithm to get your posts in front of more people. So it takes you through all the steps. It's basically the method in a nutshell. It's really, really valuable. So feel free to, absolutely come and check out our profiles. Give us a half an hour after this, and we'll put them up because we've recently developed it. But yeah, it's a great place to go and start. And we talk to that and help people through that more in our free community.
The cool thing about that is people get to experience a chatbot as well.
Yeah.
From a user perspective. So if people haven't interacted with the chatbot before and unsure what we're talking about, well, going through this process, just clicking on that link, kicks the chatbot into life. And then at the end of it, as Debra says, you then get delivered this really cool asset that's going to help you boost your Facebook engagement.
Yeah.
So there's a real win at the end of it.
I have in the description of this, I have the link for your group, so like that people can find you guys, because it is important that people know how to find you.
Yes, it is. You're right.
Then we can start finding ourselves.
This is precisely the information that people have on their personal profiles. So many people don't know it. They might have a page that's linked, but there's so much more that you can. There's so much more real estate that you can use and utilize on your personal profile that a lot of people don't realize.
there's too many settings sometimes. I just find out this. I had a Monica Ramirez forever, and I did not realize that there is a edit button in there that you can change. You can
Yeah,
add more information. And if you go
yeah,
to the majority of the profiles, they don't have any who they are, what do they serve, or what do they do, or it's just for fun, or what are they having uh, that Facebook. And it's just simple stuff that people do not realize that there are many more things that they can learn. So
yeah.
they can change it.
Even something as simple as a call to action. You know, if you had a Facebook cover image that just said, "Click the button here to message me." I mean, as simple as that. You know, encourage people to reach out to you. Give them a call to action. Take action and reach out and take the next step with you. But because so much of social media is so passive, you know, we're always kind of stalking profiles and having a look. You don't know who's been and had a look. So utilize all the real estate on your profile to ask people to reach out, ask people to take a next step.
Yes, after the 2020, I believe there were more entrepreneurs than before. We
Yeah.
were forced to go fully online, everybody.
Yeah.
But I believe that actually helped. So many people lost their jobs, unfortunately, and so forth, and they were forced to go, yes, as an entrepreneur around the world, and that connect us at the same time with the world and not only locally. And that was actually amazing. Do you guys? That's when you started more the rock the boat in the 2020.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 Completely it was. Yeah, absolutely. You were still employed during lockdown for us, but that later that year, lost the job. And yeah, no, look, it's been a really crazy journey, hasn't it? It's in some ways it's really alienated people or polarized people, but in other ways it's really brought us together and helped us find our tribes and our communities online and really learn to adjust to a world online. Whether that's something that we want to see flourishing in the future remains to be seen. I think there still needs to be a real balance, obviously.
So the flip side of, well, not the flip side, but the consequence of so many people turning to this online way of doing business is people seeking answers. And certainly, we've recently completed a mentorship program. It was great. We were part of a community, got introduced to dozens of other students, and hearing their background and their stories and what had taken them to get to this point. And so many had tried and failed and tried and failed and tried and failed. And this is the thing that we realised, no one was there to help them. So they had to go looking for the next thing, trying to find someone worth following that they could trust, that they would lead them to where they wanted to go. And how do you make that choice? Because is it a slick advertising campaign with really nice graphics and a really nice button that you click, and a nice shiny button that's going to solve all your problems, and then you invest lots of money only to find out that no, it was just a promise.
Or the community came together for a short time.
And then and time and time again, people were going from shiny object to shiny object, looking for the answer.
But they're actually looking for community.
And looking for a community.
Yeah.
And with that support of community that is actually going to get them across the line. And that's what we're building. And I think that's our point of difference. We're not just offering a shiny object. Okay, we've got some shiny objects, but our real is the support that you'll find with like-minded people alongside you. And as you mentioned before beautifully, Monica, we're not competing with each other. You know, we're 7 billion people that we can help. I'll just do half of them together.
And like I mentioned before, also at the same time, is because there are tons of coaches. Believe me, I have met I don't know any coaches of everything. It's just cheerleaders, or of whatever, and they're very necessary, each one of them, because they have their own niche. They have their own people that they can serve, because they have their own experience, their own life story that is going to be different from everybody else. So that's why it's different. And in a way, I don't want to thank 2020 for what we just passed, because it was horrible. But at the same time, we learned that our community, it don't has to be only local; it can be global.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
and
Yep.
look, we met in online, Debra and me, about
Yeah.
4 years ago.
About 4, eh? Something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's in New Zealand, and I'm in Texas, and it was online. We took a class together.
Yeah.
So and
Yeah.
So the people also, at the same time, in that time before the 2020, they were too scared to go online and taking classes online and so forth. And 2020 opened up that, because we were forced to. And thanks to the forced to, because now we know we can have a community in any part of the world, and we can learn from anyone, any part of the world. And
That's right. No, absolutely. The online world is just going to expand and go off now because of the doors that got opened in 2020, for sure. I mean, there was definitely, it had already started. The world was very much there, but now the masses are joining. A lot more people will be joining now.
Yes.
It's good. It's exciting. Yeah.
Because like you guys, like you're living your life that you always dream. We all wanted to have that. That's the goal of human beings. It's not just to be born and get old and work and get old and die. It is more than life than just that. Work for someone or things like that, 8 to 5, and torture yourself with a boss.
Yeah, but it won't happen by accident. You have to make some conscious decision and take some action if you're serious about making any sort of change. And that's scary. It's really scary, because it's easy to do the same thing because you know what the result is. But if you want a different result, then you've got to change something. The cool thing is you can change a small thing and see if it took you in the right direction or not. So a small thing with little risk, because the big decisions are risky and scary, right? But take a small action with low risk and see if you start feeling better, and then take the next action, and then the next action, and then you start building momentum towards where you want to be, and that momentum then gives you more courage to take the next step. So it's think about achieving your dreams in really small chunks, and test. The thing about that is if it was the wrong action, you haven't gone too far. You can take another action and pivot. I often talk about, so we talk about if you're on a boat, right? If you're just waggling the tiller on a boat, it's just like waggling the steering wheel in a car. If you're parked in a supermarket car park and you waggle the steering wheel in your car, it's going to make no difference. You're not going in any different direction. But as soon as you take your foot off the brake and start moving in any direction, you then change the steering wheel and your course will change. The good thing about that is that you can then work out if I'm going in the right direction or not. So start moving. I'd encourage everybody to start moving in a direction. Don't just do the same thing every day, but start moving in a direction. And if you like it, keep going. If you don't like it, change your course, move in another direction, and see if you like it. So, yeah, take action. That's what we did.
Yeah, and not everyone has to sell everything they own and buy.
Please don't.
In your way, walk the boat in your way to move you in the direction.
Yes, totally. It is. I know it's scary. It was scary to drop what was not working already, and give that step. But that's the only way to actually overcome the fears. That's what I teach people, how to overcome fears. And the only way to overcome fears is just you have to affront them. There's no other way.
Yeah.
And in fact, focus on what the reality, that the reality is predictable. If you don't change anything and you keep doing things the way you are doing them, you can certainly see the road that's going to take and what the outcome will be. And that should scare people more than the thought of doing something different and, that seems risky or seems confronting, right? But the doing nothing and not changing should be more scary.
The funny part is how I believe it was Einstein that says that what was the definition of crazy? Continue doing the same thing over and over and over, having the same result.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
there's another one. We're not going to solve the problem by using the same thoughts that got us into this mess. I've just really badly misquoted that, but that's the sentiment of it. Yeah. You know what I mean.
Guys, would you like to add something else before we say goodbye?
Not from me. I've enjoyed the conversation. Then just encourage people to reach out, check out our community. We'll put that in the comments or it's in the call. And just reach out and connect.
I want to say thank you, Monica. I remember the first time we properly spoke, and although you're in Texas and I'm in New Zealand and we're completely different backgrounds, as human beings we were able to connect and actually see quite a lot of similarities in the way we approach things. So I want to thank you for being you and inviting us to speak. But yeah, I look forward to seeing where your business grows and where you take this as well. So pleased to be excited with that.
Yeah, these soul talk sessions. Looking forward to seeing how they grow.
I really enjoy our talk, and thank you for accepting, both of you. And it's really my pleasure, and everything that I'm learning from you guys too at the same time. I really appreciate that. We think as entrepreneur we need people that actually help us, because we really are making tons of mistakes because we're learning, all of us.
We all are.
Yeah. Debra's made heaps.
I can tell you plenty of ways of not to do things. Yeah.
I'm perfect, however.
And he smells like roses.
Yes.
Right, we all make mistakes.
Well,
thanks so much for having us on, Monica.
Thank you. And well, I just wanna, before we go, I would like to the next week we're gonna have Suzanne Bishop. She's a psychic reader, medium coach, Reiki master, and many more things. And we're having it the next Monday at 8:00 at 7 p.m. Central Time. I'm sorry, at 7 p.m. Central Time. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate.
Appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Monica.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.